This is a rain guard box fan by Lakewood. This is a fan that I've been sitting on for a while, kind of a project fan. I wasn't really sure what I was going to do with it. I got it running now though. So this is one of the fans that I found a few months ago for, what was it, 7 fans for $10, and they were all basically trash find box fans that I bought from somebody. There was pretty much some issue going on with all of them. Some of them were major, some of them were minor. This is one that was major, but worth the time if I could get it together. So did the best I could. And somebody commented on that video recently, the video about the 7 box fans, and said that I shouldn't have had to pay $10 for them because they were trash finds, and the guy should have just gave them to me for free. Which I guess I understand that somewhat, but those 7 fans, a lot of those fans are pretty hard to find nowadays, especially like this one. There were some 90s Lasco box fans, a Toastmaster. I didn't have any problem at all paying $10 for 7 fans. I mean, some of them were actually pretty easy to fix. Actually, I have another one right in front of me. This is another one. I didn't have to put any additional money into it or anything. It was just a little seized up. Bearings were a little seized up, cleaned up beautifully actually, and it was missing a handle. I put a handle on it. Actually, I did pay a couple bucks for the handle at Menards, but whatever. I mean, I think it was well worth the $10. I'm not sure when these fans were made. Late 90s, early 2000s. I couldn't find it on the cabinet. Actually, I have the original motor. I wonder if it would be... So this is the original motor. It was fried. Motor was fried on it. Let me find the date on this real quick, if it's on here. I want to do that before I forget. Model 200/IR5. So this is what they used on the 200Is, I guess. I have another one of those too, and the motor was fried on that one also. And I wondered if this was the same motor that was on that fan. Looks like it is. I already junked that motor though. That's long gone, the one on the 200i, but I kept the cabinet, the blade, and the guards just in case. Man, this thing is nasty. Oh, here we go. Cap has it. October 2003, looks like. Okay, so this motor had a cable plugged in, power cable plugged into the back of it, and the guy who sold me the fans had said that when he found it, it was missing that cable, and he found another one laying around his house somewhere that fit that. And tried it out, plugged it in, tried it out, and as soon as he turned the fan on, it started shooting sparks and flames out of the motor, apparently. So, and I did see some of the damage, like where it looked like it had been arcing. try too hard to find that again. But you can see where the windings are browned, and you're not going to be able to tell, but it smells terrible. So there's that. I removed the motor and the speed selector switch and the thermostat. So this is the thermostat box, and the speed selector switch was also in here like that, and I ended up taking out this whole box. I wanted to leave this box in there with the thermostat in there. I actually wanted to try to use the thermostat, but I wasn't sure if it was going to be compatible with the motor that I put in the fan. Yeah, I just didn't really know enough about it to know if it was worth trying or not, or if I was gonna potentially do something really stupid by doing that. I kind of think it would have worked if I would have just rewired the new motor with this. I think it probably would have been fine. I just didn't want to risk it. And then I couldn't fit the speed selector switch for the new motor. It was bigger than this one, and it would not fit in the box here. So I had to take the whole box out so I could fit the speed selector switch in the fan. And what I ended up using is a Macmillan motor. I don't know how well you can really see it because of the rain guard dealy here, but that is a Macmillan motor out of a late 90s Holmes fan, and I think that that is the same motor that Lakewood was using in their transition to the PSC motors. So I think that they were using the same motor Lakewood was, as well as Holmes, for the brace blades, as well as the what's it called, the cool operator. I think they used the same motor on the cool operator fans. So that motor seemed like a natural fit. The motor shaft fit the blade perfectly. The bolt holes lined up perfectly on the braces there. Fan cleaned up pretty good. Doesn't have a thermostat, but I just glued that knob right on there for aesthetics. I could take it off someday if I want. I just used a couple of drops of glue. I could pop that right off if I ever decide I want a thermostat on it again. The light is missing, obviously. Speed selector works pretty good, lines up good. Yeah, fan's in pretty good shape. The handle's decent. There's a little bit of surface rust in the fan, but it's, I mean, it's manageable. It's a manageable amount of surface rust in there. This rear guard is broken right here, and on the bottom corner of the front guard there's a little damage there as well. We'll look at the information on the bottom. There is some stuff there, but there was no date that I saw. Yeah, and that says 2.1 amps, which is what that Macmillan motor is rated for, even though it had this motor in it. What's this say? This says 1.2. So yeah, I think that Macmillan motor that I put in there is actually, coincidentally, the same motor that Lakewood was using. Anyway, before they went to the PSC motor. And I kind of prefer the the Macmillan motor that's in this now, because I know what those PSC motors are like, and they run lean and mean pretty fast. This Macmillan motor, on the other hand, I've got it plugged into the amp meter here. I think I already know what it's going to read, just because I did run it once before I plugged it into the meter, and it was doing pretty much what I thought it was going to do. Ran the same way as it did in the Holmes fan. So we'll start it out on the low speed first, and I'll show you what I mean. So it's got a really calm low speed. Very gentle, very quiet. Moves in a pretty decent breeze. It's a good nighttime breeze. And this motor is rated at 2.1 amps, and on the low speed we're at 0.67. So what's going to happen now is we'll move it up to the medium speed, and it will move up a small increment. Okay, it's a little louder, moves noticeably more air, but this fan, or with this motor, runs identical to the cool operator fan that also has a brace blade. So we're at 1.09. So it goes up about a half an amp from low to medium, and then when you turn it to high, it jumps like over a full amp, and it really cranks on high speed. We're within spec. Medium again. Show the low one more time. Just jump right up to high. So I don't have a thermostat, but I think it worked out as well as it possibly could have with the motor that I ended up using. So yeah, I have a pretty good looking Lakewood rain guard. Doesn't have the original motor, doesn't have a thermostat, but it looks good, runs good, has the same good Macmillan motor as a lot of the other Lakewood fans of the era, including the cool operator fan. Good stuff. Pretty happy that this worked out the way that it did. Well worth the $10, definitely. Thank you for watching.